Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News. And thank you everyone for joining us here on 13 News at noon. I'm Karen Campbell. Right now we are learning more about charges brought against an IMPD sergeant accused of downloading and sharing videos of child pornography online. Javed Richards is facing 13 counts of child exploitation and 1 count of child pornography. Our 13 News team was in the courtroom today where Richards appeared in a jail uniform and not his usual IMPD uniform for the first time. This afternoon, we are learning that Richards pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against him. We also know that he did pay his bond, but he has been denied release until he turns over all of his passports and his guns. He's due back in court on September 10th. And 13 News will continue to follow this case. We will keep you updated on air and online at WTHR.com. Just hours ago, we learned the name of a man killed in a shooting on the city's northwest side. Police tell us they found 56-year-old George Nelson Sr. shot last night outside of Goon with the Spoon restaurant. That's on MLK near West 26th Street. Our crew was at the scene just after the call came in. Police say they did arrest a man in connection to the shooting. We spoke with Nelson's son, who said he doesn't understand why someone would kill his father.
For this, the way that he went out, this is crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy. Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. And make sure to stay tuned to 13 News at 4 o'clock. We will have much more on this story. All right, let's take a live look outside now over downtown Indianapolis, giving you a check of the forecast today as you start to plan your afternoon. There's some hot air ahead as Sean Ash is here to explain and tell us about no more mild weather.
Mild today.
Mild today.
But we definitely want you to be aware that next week, and we've been pounding this drum here, we're going to pound it a bit louder, it is going to be hot. So anything but this morning, however, 40s in central Indiana for a most part. We had 54 in Indy, but look at all the 40s on another seasonably chilly morning. A recovery that's underway. We told you this was going to happen too. Sunshine out there, almost at 70 degrees in Indy. Elsewhere already in the 70s. It's going to be a little bit warmer than the past couple of days. And then unlike the last couple of days, we don't have much of that low-level scattered cloud cover in central Indiana. So this is going to be more of a severe, clear kind of day. You can see a little bit of milkiness on visible satellite, and that's a little bit of remnant wildfire smoke, not necessarily from Canada this time, but for some bigger fires out across the western U.S. But we are still living high and dry right now, thanks to this area of high pressure. It is beginning to make its move to the east, and that will allow temperatures to gradually warm up each day and then kick into full force as we go into Sunday afternoon. Sunshine, a mild finish today, close to 80, if not above it in a few locations. We're back down in the 50s. We're going to talk about Operation Football and a warming weekend all ahead in the 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Sean. A man shot by Carmel police in an apartment parking garage is now facing multiple felony charges. He's accused of harassing his ex-girlfriend for hours before ramming his car into a police cruiser. Our Rich Knight is looking into the newly released court documents in this case, and he shares what they describe from Hamilton County.
Carmel police responded to a call on Sunday evening, August 11th, about 7:45, here at the Avon Apartments on Old Meridian Street. A woman said she was being harassed by her former boyfriend, 23-year-old Daniel Castillo, who was at the apartment complex. According to court records, that afternoon the woman had 190 missed phone calls from Castillo on her phone in about a 4-hour period. That's almost a call every minute. She also received multiple profane and offensive text messages from Castillo, including, "I can't wait till you die," and "I hope you die slow." Court records say Castillo knocked on the woman's apartment door for 20 minutes. She and her roommate went to a bedroom, locked the door, and called police. Carmel officers say they found Castillo sitting in a blue Dodge Charger on the 3rd floor of the apartment parking garage about a half hour later. Officer Pablo Navarrete blocked the Charger in a parking spot with his police SUV, got out, and demanded Castillo get out of his car. Another officer was also there. Navarrete says Castillo turned the wheel toward the officer and drove his car into the police SUV and continued spinning his tires, trying to free his vehicle. Court records say Navarrete fired 3 shots through the windshield, hitting Castillo in the right shoulder. Police say they found a knife in the center console of his car, and the woman's car tires had been slashed in the parking garage. Castillo faces charges of aggravated battery, criminal recklessness, resisting law enforcement, criminal mischief, and harassment. In Carmel, Rich Nye, 13 News.
And Indiana State Police are handling the investigation because this was an officer-involved shooting. Officer Pablo Navarrete has been with the Carmel Police Department 3 years after serving a decade with IMPD. He remains on alternate duty today, which is standard procedure in this situation. Well, law enforcement in Hendricks County have an urgent warning about fentanyl on the streets. Plainfield police officers made a traffic stop on US 40 last week and found fentanyl in the car. They believe the suspect was going to sell it. Authorities say overdose deaths are down in Hendricks County this year compared to 2023, but lives are still being impacted.
We're seeing it crystallized, we're seeing it in powder form, in pill form, even liquid form. And so you really don't know where it could be in anything you're taking.
For those struggling with addiction, Overdose Lifeline provides free Narcan and fentanyl testing strips. Right now, there's a grant to train more sexual assault nurse examiners. These nurses would be responsible for providing help to victims after a sexual or physical assault. The IU Health Foundation and the IU School of Nursing acquired the grant. IU Health tells 13 News 1 in 5 women in Indiana have reported being victims of sexual assaults. And there are only 3 counties in the state with hospitals where one of these nurses are on staff 24/7. Now, the other counties either don't have one or hospitals have someone on call, not just available in person.
So it's getting the awareness out there that forensic nursing is an area that you can go into. They need support from their hospital in developing a forensic nurse program and how to manage it. Part of our program that we plan for the HRSA grant is to help these smaller hospitals start up a forensic program.
In order for a nurse to be able to get this certification, they must have 2 years of experience. Well, more issues this afternoon for drivers on the west side. DPW says the ongoing bridge work on West Washington Street over Little Eagle Creek will take longer than expected, so they predict it won't reopen for another year. Businesses, they're frustrated. George Cryer, who works at Joe's Auto Sales, says the delay is detrimental to his business.
Well, layoffs, people can't keep doing this, and you don't want to start laying people off. But what do you do when there's no traffic?
Hard decision. Indy DPW says the historic 100-year-old bridge is in worse shape than they thought, and they have to be careful and follow certain regulations. Now, originally, the city estimated that it would be closed for only 4 months. All right, we are talking Colts. We want you to get ready because they are back in action for their final preseason game. They are on the road in Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The 2 teams held a joint practice this week leading up to tonight's game. Coach Shane Steichen tells us the starters will play tonight. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. The Colts open the regular season September 8th when the Houston Texans come here to Lucas Oil Stadium. And this time tomorrow, we will be kicking off with Operation Football. Our first game of the week takes us to Ben Davis. The Giants are hosting Cathedral in a regional championship rematch. Ben Davis won that matchup last season in a thriller on their way to a 6A state title. So tune in tomorrow night at 11 as Dave brings you all of the biggest moments from the Giants and the Fighting Irish. And before that, tune in tomorrow morning at 6 for the kickoff of Operation Football at Decatur Central right here on 13 News.